Hey there, hi there, ho there. So we are going to talk group riding. How do you ride in a group? There are a lot of rules. It's not just show up and let's go ride. To ride safely in a group, let's talk about it.
One life, one shot, give it all you got.
Okay, so the first thing about riding in a group, there are two kinds of group riders. There's A and there's B. Notice A, side by side, side by side. B, staggered. So, which one are you? Are you an A or a B? Which one is right? Okay, hopefully you guessed B. Why? Why is it important to ride staggered? And what are the dangers of riding side by side? The dangers of riding side by side are if something happens to this guy, you've got no time to react, to stop. Here, you've got normal following distance. Well, now wait a minute. Why don't you just use normal following distance here? If you stagger, then other cars, other vehicles in the area are not going to see an open space to get into. They're going to see another bike there. If you leave enough space riding parade style side by side, then a car might get in the middle of you or try to get in the middle of you, which is a very dangerous situation. So that, number one, keeps cars from trying to get into your formation. And this guy only needs to worry about this guy right in front of him. Because if something happens to this guy, he's not going to run into him. This guy's the one worrying about this guy, right? So maintaining safe following distance behind the guy directly in front of you is done by being at the back wheel or a little behind the back wheel of the guy to the side of you. That's why we ride staggered formation. So that's the first thing, first rule. Second rule, when you're riding, you see people kick their foot out or point at something on the ground. That is polite. You're letting people know that there's something in the road or there's a pothole to avoid or just bad pavement. If you see someone doing this with their feet, it means there's gravel or sand in the road. Look out for the road surface. If you see somebody swing their leg at the side of the road, that means there's gravel at the edge of the road. So don't get too close to the edge of the road. So those are some things to know about. What's something else to know about? Well, every ride, if it's more than 3 riders, should have a leader and a sweep. The reason you want a leader and a sweep is if you get separated. So coordinating the ride and things like that is always helpful. And the sweep is the last guy to arrive that accounts that, yes, we have everybody in the group accounted for and we didn't lose anybody on the way. And if somebody goes down, that sweeper is typically one of the more experienced riders, and he sees that something happened, he pulls over, he's there to render aid. Hopefully you never have that happen, but unfortunately it does happen. People ride outside their means, which brings me to the next lesson of riding in group rides. Ride your own ride. The best rule to ever have in any group: ride your own ride. Don't try to keep up. If you find that you're not fast enough to keep up with the guys in front of you, it's not incumbent on them to slow down. It would be polite of them. But move farther back in the group when the time is available for you to move back. So at the next coffee stop, at the next gas stop, move farther back and let somebody else go ahead of you that is faster. But ride your own ride. You are responsible for your safety. Do not try to keep up just because you're in a group. Just because you're in a group does not mean you're all riding the same speed. Just because you're in a group, you're going to wait at the turns. So the people at the front of the formation, when there's a turn, are going to hang out somewhere near the next turn and wait for the whole group to catch up. And then you're going to proceed after that turn so nobody gets lost. Pretty simple, right? Always, I just can't say this enough. Ride your own ride. And if you find that they're not waiting for you at the turns, if you find that they're just hooligans, maybe this isn't a group you want to ride with. Think about that. Also, another rule, do you know these people? Don't just join up with any group. I can tell you from my early riding days, when I started riding again after a long gap, I was supposed to meet up with a group, and I didn't, and I ended up riding with a different group of people that I didn't know. And they were riding outside my skill set. And I did not ride my own ride. And I went flying off the mountain. I ended up sitting in the fork of a tree. Thank God the fork of the tree was there, or I wouldn't be here. So I learned that lesson very quickly. So be a little choosy, be a little selective about what group you ride with. Who are you riding with? Do you know them? Do you know much about them? Do you know what kind of speed they ride, where they ride, how they ride? Are they the kind that weave in and out of traffic? Or do they maintain a formation and move smoothly through traffic? So those are some things to find out. And if you're not comfortable with the group that you're riding with, don't stay with them. Go home. If at any point during a group ride you do not feel that you're safe, go home. It ain't worth it. Really. It ain't worth it. Go home. Hard feelings are much easier to deal with than a wreck. So, if you ever don't feel safe, just go home. Just go home. I'd rather not be friends with somebody than go on a ride and wreck. So, what else about group rides? Well, group rides are a lot of fun, but some people are the kind of group that likes to do a lot of sightseeing, and they stop at every overlook for photo ops. Other groups are just about getting there, and they won't stop for nothing. So you might want to feel out what kind of group it is. If they're the looky-loos and they just like to cruise, or are they the guys that like the rhythm of the road and just like to ride? Or are they the guys balls to the wall, get there? Feel that out before you join the ride. Find out what kind of riders they are. Find your group. In order to do that, you actually have to know what kind of rider you are. Decide what kind of riding you like. And you might like a variety. You might be one that wants to go with the guys that go real fast and just get there sometimes. And you might enjoy having a passenger and going to all the scenic overlooks another time. Just know your goal for that ride. And if you end up on a ride that doesn't mesh, either suck it up Or you can go home. But it's usually better if you're within your skill set and it's just that they're looking around too much. Get over it. There'll be other rides. Get along, you know? But if you're really uncomfortable, it's going to show. So go home. It's okay to say, you know what, guys, I'm just not feeling it today. And go home if you're not feeling it. But there is so much camaraderie. There's so much fun to be had on group rides. So go find a group that rides the kind of rides that you like to the destinations that you like and try a group ride. Most of all, the most important rule, I'm going to say it again, ride your ride. And I think that's about it. So hit that like, subscribe. I got that backwards. Like, subscribe, hit the little bell icon, and get out there and have an adventure.